The world of wrestling is in mourning. Hulk Hogan, the man who defined an era, inspired millions, and made Hulkamania a global phenomenon, has died. He was 71. From his legendary in-ring career to the controversies that followed him, the women who stood by his side, and how he spent his final years. Today, we uncover the full story behind the death and legacy of Hulk Hogan, a man larger than life, both inside and outside the squared circle. On July 24, 2025, Hulk Hogan, born Terry Eugene Bollea, died of cardiac arrest at his home in Clearwater, Florida. Emergency services responded quickly after a 911 call from the residents, but despite their efforts, the wrestling legend could not be saved. He was pronounced dead later that afternoon. His death came just a month after undergoing a major spinal fusion surgery, a procedure tied to decades of intense wear and tear from professional wrestling. Hogan had endured multiple back surgeries throughout the 2000s and 2010s, often walking with difficulty and in chronic pain. His latest procedure was considered risky but necessary. Though fans feared complications from the surgery may have contributed to his sudden passing, Hogan's wife, Sky Daly, confirmed in a brief statement that the cardiac arrest was not directly related to the operation. Still, it was clear. His body had taken a beating, both from the ring and from years of physical strain and medical intervention. Legendary lifestyle. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestler. He was an entertainment powerhouse, a marketing juggernaut, and for millions of fans, a real-life superhero. After bursting into superstardom in the 1980s with WrestleMania The Fun, Hogan quickly became the face of professional wrestling, main-eventing countless pay-per-views and helping to turn WWE into a global media empire. Everything about Hogan was iconic. The red and yellow ring gear, the handlebar mustache, the explosive energy, and his unforgettable entrance to Real American. He told kids to eat their vitamins, say their prayers, and believe in themselves. And they listened. Outside the ring, Hogan ventured into Hollywood, starring in movies like Mr. Nanny, No Holds Barred, and Suburban Commando. He brought his larger-than-life persona to mainstream audiences and later reintroduced himself to a new generation via the hit reality show Hogan Knows Best, which chronicled his family life. But Hogan's lifestyle wasn't just about fame, it was also about excess. In the 90s and early 2000s, he lived lavishly, with multi-million-dollar mansions, custom cars, a private collection of wrestling memorabilia, and beach houses in Florida. He threw extravagant parties and spared no expense when it came to luxury. He also ventured into food and business. He opened Pastamania, a pasta-themed restaurant in Minnesota's Mall of America, endorsed products like Hulkster burgers, and even released a line of microwavable meals, protein powders, and energy drinks. In 2024, Hogan launched Real American Beer, his latest venture into branding, capitalizing on his enduring image as an all-American icon. Though not all his businesses succeeded, Hogan remained a tireless promoter until the very end, showing up at fan expos and even WWE Raw to hype the product, though it was met with mixed reactions from crowds. Love life, marriages, divorce, and heartbreak. Hogan's love life was as dramatic as any wrestling storyline, full of passion, public scandal, and painful endings. He married Linda Claridge in 1983, during the height of his early wrestling fame. The couple had 2 children, Brooke and Nick Hogan, and portrayed a happy family on the reality TV series Hogan Knows Best, giving fans a rare peek into the life of the Hulkster at home. But in 2007, rumors of an affair with a woman named Christiane Plant, who had worked with Brooke on her music album, rocked the Hogan household. Linda filed for divorce later that year, citing infidelity. The media frenzy that followed painted Hogan in a negative light, and the emotional toll was massive. The divorce settlement saw Hogan walk away with just 30% of their shared assets, reportedly valued around $10 million. Hogan would later admit he fell into a deep depression, and in a shocking confession, revealed he had considered suicide during that period. He credited boxer and co-star Layla Ali with helping him through those dark days. In 2010, Hogan married Jennifer McDaniel, a makeup artist more than 20 years his junior. The marriage lasted over a decade and was relatively private, but in 2022, the couple quietly divorced. Then came an unexpected twist. In July 2023, Hogan proposed to yoga instructor Sky Daly during a wedding reception for actor Corin Nemec. The two married on September 22, 2023, and remained together until Hogan's passing. By all accounts, Sky brought peace and balance to Hogan's final chapter. Net worth and financial struggles. At the height of Hulkamania, Hogan was earning millions per year from merchandise sales, pay-per-view bonuses, and promotional deals. In the late 80s and early 90s, his net worth was estimated at over $100 million, placing him among the richest athletes in the world at the time. But success came at a steep price. Hogan's lavish spending habits, expensive legal battles, and divorce settlements chipped away at his fortune. His lawsuit against Gawker Media, over the release of a private tape, resulted in a headline-grabbing $100 million judgment, although most of that was later settled out of court. By 2008, his net worth had dropped to around $30 million, and Hogan openly admitted that he had been on the brink of financial ruin. In later years, through strategic licensing deals, appearances, and ventures like Hogan's Beach and Hogan's Hangout, he slowly rebuilt his financial stability. By 2025, Hogan's net worth was estimated to be between $25 to $30 million. Still impressive, though a far cry from his peak. Despite the scandals, surgeries, and setbacks, Hulk Hogan remains one of the most recognizable figures in sports entertainment history. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame twice, first in 2005 as a solo performer, and again in 2020 as part of the NWO. He inspired generations of wrestlers, including John Cena, Edge, and The Rock, who have all cited him as a childhood hero. Hogan also worked closely with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, fulfilling countless requests from terminally ill children, something he called his greatest honor. Upon news of his death, tributes poured in from around the world. Wrestling legend Ric Flair posted on social media, "An incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. I'm absolutely shocked. Our friendship meant the world to me. From superstardom to scandal, redemption to tragedy." Hulk Hogan's life was one of the most dramatic stories ever told in sports entertainment. He was flawed, but unforgettable. Loud, but loving. A showman, a father, a husband, and a hero to millions. Rest in power, Hulkster. Hulkamania will never die.